Hi, and welcome to this episode of Conversation with a Chef. I'm Jo Ritchie, and I love sharing with you the conversations I get to have with talented and passionate chefs. It's the backstory, if you will, to the food they're putting up. I begin today by acknowledging the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, traditional custodians of the lands and airwaves where this conversation took place, land which was never ceded, land where communities came together to eat seasonally, locally, and without exhausting resources. I pay my respect to the elders past and present and to any First Nations people listening today. Today I'm talking to Chris Rendell at the Beehive. Originally from Adelaide, Chris grew up in Melbourne and started chef life as an apprentice under Robert Castellani at Carmine's, before heading to Sydney and working for Neil Perry at the Rockpool Group's Star Grill and then at Christine Manfield's iconic The Paramount in Potts Point. After 4 years in London, working with David Thompson, as well as at Sugar Club, the Grocer of Elgin and the Mews of Mayfair, Chris spent 16 years in the States as a chef at legendary New York restaurant Public, and then he was the founder of Flinders Lane. Now Chris is based in Auckland and is Group Executive Chef for Savor Group, overseeing 20 venues there. As if he hasn't got enough going on there, he's teamed up with Only Hospitality Group to develop the menu for revamped Hawthorn pub The Beehive, on the corner of Beehive Road and Church Street. With a rich history dating back to 1855, the building's been around for nearly 200 years. After the Beehive's original closure, 15 years ago, it moonlighted as restaurants Serafina and Butcher and Vine. And if you're wondering how the local gem got its title in 1882, what's now Beehive Road in Hawthorn was originally Beehive Road. Long-time hospitality partners and mates Julien, Moussi and Tony Pantano welcome locals and beyond to the beloved watering hole, honouring its old world charm to ensure people feel right at home. Both regulars at the pub during their 20s, the Beehive holds a lot of nostalgia for the local duo, a sentiment shared by many growing up in Hawthorn and surrounds. With Chris overseeing the menu, expect pub classics done very well, like parmas, a signature cheeseburger, and steak night, as well as some more fancy offerings like the wood-fired focaccia with whipped parmesan and the grilled spatchcock with salsa verde. How's your day been?
Yeah, not too bad. We're just doing a few little tweaks and changes at the moment. So
okay, yeah.
Just getting ready for spring. So
nice. And is that the new repertoire on the wall? I saw painted up on the outside, or the
oh no, that's
is that the old one?
Yeah, that's the new one. That's all their weekly sort of deals and specials and what's going on.
I drive past you every day on my way to work. So
right. Yeah, no, that's their weekly parma nights and sort of steak night and roasts and sort of changes. They do different formats and things. Yeah. Locals night and that sort of thing.
That's right, yeah. I used to live just down the road actually, so it was more of a local, and now I'm in Port Melbourne. But
right, okay.
Yeah. And you're going backwards and forwards from Aotearoa.
Yeah, I'm based in New Zealand, so I'm originally from Melbourne. Yeah. But haven't lived here for about, since about 96 I moved to Sydney, so it's been a while.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. How does it feel being back?
Good. Yeah, I mean, I always come back. I've been coming back a fair bit. I was in New York for 17 years before moving back to New Zealand, which has been about five coming up to like 6 years now.
Yeah.
So, but I always sort of, mum and dad live in Adelaide, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, it's just got a lot of ties and sort of connections.
Sort of everywhere.
And are you in Auckland or?
Yeah, we're in Auckland.
Yeah. I just I've just been booking a trip to go back because my mum's in Christchurch, but I thought I want to fly into. Are you from New Zealand? I'm from Christchurch. Right. But I want to go to Auckland. There's a couple of great chefs there, like Tala, the Samoan one with Henry, and then Lucas Parkinson at Aria in Piha.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah.
Henry's just down the road from us. We have a restaurant up there in the group I work for, Not Solid Pizza, which has been there for like decades.
Yeah.
So
how many restaurants do you oversee?
20. 20. There's 20. A lot of those are, some of those are multiple sites and under the same concept, and some are quick service as well. So we have sort of the high-end sort of restaurants, Mano and Zabu and Bavako and NSP, which we bought a couple of years ago, 2019, which has been around for like 25, into its 27th year.
Yeah.
And then we have sort of Goji Sushi, and we have Auckland fish markets and lobster sort of shack, and sort of a lot of that sort of quick service market as well.
How do you keep track of all of that?
Yeah, that's a lot.
Because I saw you were on the pans in there. So
yeah.
So you still like to be
I do the same over
in
there.
the kitchen, yeah. Great.
You know.
But you're dealing with a lot of people then as well.
Yeah, we have about 500 staff. So for us, 550, come down a little bit. That's sort of like just a natural winter sort of decline in staff, and then as it ramps back up for summer, I find New Zealand is a little bit seasonal.
Yes.
It's either all on or it's all off. It's like summer, winter, basically.
Well, and it's a much smaller population.
Yeah, well, that's it.
As well,
Totally.
And it's a variety of different cuisines as well. So
the group. Italian, Japanese, sort of Peruvian style Japanese. Obviously got the mano, which is sort of only uses New Zealand ingredients.
Okay.
Apart from spices. And then we sort of have the classic Italian, which is the non-solo pizza, and then sushi and fish and chips and bang bang Chinese. And,
God. Okay. Well, never a dull moment, I suppose.
No,
And what's on the menu here?
So here we are doing. We have a little snack menu, obviously, sort of bar. You want sort of people to be able to walk in and just have a little bite. And with that, without it being too challenging, or there's a lot of recognition there. You don't want people to sort of have to think about the first 10 minutes of, so it's quite, burrata and focaccia and hummus and sort of smaller plates, prosciutto and tomato salads. And then there's obviously the classics, which I think, people come to expect at a pub. And the parma's the number one seller.
Is it? Yeah.
By a country mile. I don't think you could ever change that.
Parma hasn't really taken off in New Zealand, I don't think.
Not well. The pub culture doesn't really exist there either. Not like it does here.
What is the key to a good parma?
I think it's obviously good chicken, but sort of tender, good crust, cheese, good sauce. Moist.
Yeah.
And good chips on the
good
side.
Good chips.
Yeah. Nice. Salad there for decoration because no one,
Yeah, that's right. It's garnished. That's right. Yeah.
But I was quite surprised on how much it actually does sell.
Yeah.
Compared to everything else.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
I suppose it's something you just don't really make at home. People don't cook that for themselves at home.
No, it's actually there's a lot of work involved in it.
There is.
It's not just you got a chicken breast out, crumb, bread it, fry it, season it.
Yeah.
Load it up with all its toppings and then bake it, gratinate it. So there's a lot of moving parts to it.
That's right.
Yeah. For a pub sort of dish, it's actually a little bit complex.
That's right.
There's lots of things, lots of elements to it.
Yeah. And do you have a favourite cuisine that you like working with?
I think I kind of started off in Italian here in Melbourne. Worked with a chef called Robert Castellani. Who was Stephanie Alexander's head chef for about 12 years, 15 years. I worked with him at Carmine's, which was a sort of bit of an institution way back when, on Toorak Road, and then I went to Donovan's with him as well.
Yes. Okay.
And then kind of moved up to Sydney and moved into that sort of Thai space or Southeast Asian space with Neil Perry and Christine Manfield for a long time.
Wow.
And then into London at the Sugar Club into that kind of fusion sort of style, and with David Thompson in London as well. So it's a cross, a real sort of. I have a bit of two loves. That's sort of Southeast Asian, more the model sort of style, as opposed to the traditional sort of Thai, and then into sort of Italian as well. That more sort of modern Italian.
Yeah.
Which I'd focus more in New Zealand. There, we don't really do any sort of that modern sort of Southeast Asian. Yeah, the Japanese Peruvian is more that sort of Teradito Nobu sort of esque style.
Yeah. Okay. And did you always know you wanted to be a chef?
No. No, I sort of left school here and didn't want to go to uni, and sort of my mother was like, "Well, what do you want to do?" And I was sort of, don't know.
Yeah.
Then she actually saw an ad for. At the time I was actually working at the pancake parlour at Chadstone.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and was like doing all their production and stuff like that, and kind of really enjoyed it. And it was very systematic and very organised. And they were growing. They were growing really strong back then. In all the sort of wherever there was a Hoyts popping up, there was a pancake parlour next to it. So I moved around with them and worked at the Snow with them. And then Mum saw an ad for a place in East Melbourne called Il Duca, which was an Italian restaurant. and went there and started my apprenticeship there and sort of really got into it.
Yeah. Can you remember what it was that you loved about it that made you want to pursue it?
Oh, I just really enjoyed I don't know, I just really enjoyed the hours didn't bother me, that was fun. I remember working at Carmine's and taking prep home just to kind of because it was so busy and so intense that...
Wow.
Probably wouldn't do that now.
No.
But,
wow.
sitting there and peeling mushrooms at home and
Yes.
it was pretty full on.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed that. Yeah, I enjoyed that.
And starting out in that way, I mean, you worked with some really great people. So did you always have quite high intentions? Because I feel like you...
No, it all kind of all these things just sort of happened. My job to first work in Sydney, we went up with a mate who was working for Reuters. He had a spare ticket. He had a conference up there back when Reuters existed. And I was in Sydney laying on Bondi Beach and I saw an ad for Neil Perry. He was opening up Star Grill and he was holding interviews that day and I was in literally board shorts and a T-shirt down at Bondi laying on the beach, and then I called Michael McEnany, who was the chef of Rockwell at the time and it has Mike's Kitchen in Sydney. And he was like, yeah, come on down. He kind of knew Rob. He had worked with Robert Castellani because I was working with him at the time at Carmine's. And 2 weeks later, I was up had resigned and was up in Sydney. And then, met a chef called Lucas Reptis who said, hey, there's Christine Manfield was looking for someone. Do you want to kind of jump over? And I was like, yeah, great, sounds great. Not realising the intensity and where Christine, at that time.
That's right.
What I was, and I was with there for 5 years.
Wow.
It was amazing.
That's good,
Yeah.
And then was London always a goal, do you think?
Not intentionally. London was always I'll go for when I was away the whole time, I was only ever going for I'll be gone for 6 months. 24 years later, I kind of managed to stumble back.
Yeah.
So I'm not even back to Australia yet, so I'm still kind of on that path.
No, that's right. Yeah. And working in places like London and New York, it always sounds, so international and lofty. What was it like? What were your first impressions?
Yeah, I mean, London was hard. It was good fun because I was working at Sugar Club, was a real home for Antipodeans, so there was a lot of Australians and New Zealanders, and obviously through that Peter Gordon connection and Sugar Club, and South Africans were there as well on the floor and in the kitchen, and it was just like a real little home. It was hard work, but it was fun. Yeah. New York was tough. You kind of really got to do your work. Yeah.
Is the audience different? Are diners different? Different expectations?
Yeah, I guess because I had my own restaurant in New York in the last few years, two restaurants, and you kind of notice it more then. I think the Sugar Club we were just doing, cooking and just sort of being a part of it, as opposed to focusing on what the clients wanted and being more involved in that sort of sense. Yeah.
So then, when it's your own place as well, would you look at reviews and did that?
Yeah, and that was when things like when we opened Flinders Lane in New York, when Yelp and all those sort of review sort of platforms are really starting to emerge, and people would come in and be like, well, I'm a Yelp elite, and you'd be like, okay, so what does that mean? That's well, you better be on your A game because I can take you down kind of thing. And I was like, okay. And even Instagram hadn't even really booted that. 2014, it still hadn't really. It was there, but it wasn't what it is now in that sort of platform, or any of those platforms existed.
What do you think about where the industry is at the moment?
I think we're sort of plateauing, and I think hopefully the summer and everything else coming out, it's only short term really, that people will sort of start to brighten up a little bit. I know there's a lot of people are changing their models and how they do operate, and no servers and relying on the customer to kind of do everything, and that's coming out of labour and cost of goods and stuff like that. So there's a lot of change in there.
Yeah.
But I think there'll always be a bit of a market for people having a dining experience.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, it is amazing. You go past spaces on, at various nights of the week or whatever, and they're busy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, people still like to eat out.
Yeah, no, totally, and that's why, otherwise, where are you going to go out? Why are you going to go out? If I have to get my water and get this.
No, that's right.
Go to the counter and then pick it up and take it to the table and, sort of...
Yeah. It's
for sake of still spending the same amount,
Yeah, that's right.
With the experience, so...
Yes.
Yeah.
And, as you've had lots of experiences all the way up the ranks, I guess, and then head chefing and then an owner, and now you're overseeing all of these multiple places. In terms of having to deal with all these different teams of people, how do you go into different kitchens and get them to not do what you want, but,
Yeah, no, every place, I mean, most, all these... Well, I mean, New Zealand specific, I guess, but each place has a head chef that's responsible for the onus is on them, and we give them the ability to run with it with some direction and guidance. And obviously, there's more of a whether that's through finance, sort of budgets and menu development, stuff like that.
Okay.
But yeah, you have to. All that stuff is pretty set across the restaurants and groups, I guess. But you have to sort of, I think every place is different, and you can't just sort of go into a place and react because you're only seeing sound bites of what might happen on a particular evening.
That's right.
You can't just walk in and sort of see something and blast and go, what's going on here, when you don't know what's happened 10 minutes before or what it's responding to. So you kind of have to step back a little bit, maybe get into the situation and then blast them.
Yeah.
Knowing that,
Yeah.
So yeah, you just sort of really have to be careful with that sort of moment. A lot of people, sort of owners or people go in and almost like a seagull just sort of fly in and then they're out, but not knowing what sort of happened to get to that point.
Yeah. And when you're at home, do you cook?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do cook. Yeah.
What do you like to cook?
It's a lot simpler.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot simpler. We do some, sort of good grilling and sort of we have a nice balcony and the ability to do that. It's pretty much a few nights a week. We really sort of do go out. We don't really sort of go out a lot.
Yeah.
So it's mostly at home.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
Because you must be travelling a lot, are you?
Yeah. Well, I do come back to Melbourne a fair bit.
Yeah.
This year particularly. And then my wife travels a lot as well. She'll be travelling a fair bit for the rest of the year. So
it is nice. It's nice to be at home.
Yeah, so I'll be at home with our daughter and sort of school and holidays coming up and stuff like that. So
yeah. And with all your experience, then, what would your advice be to a young person starting out as a chef?
I mean, I think you just have to. I wouldn't start with sort of, especially like when I was in America, all these sort of people dropping out of their careers or degrees or whatever and paying, $80,000, $90,000, $100,000 at culinary schools. I think Anthony Bourdain said, go and try it first. Spend a month, spend a week, spend 6 months. Work 40, 50, 60, 70 hours a week. Miss parties, miss birthdays, be late for something, that's essentially what, used to be or, is, and see if you really want to do that, because that's really where it's at.
Yeah.
Especially if you want to keep going with it,
Yeah.
And then just sort of eat out, look at trends. I mean, for when I was starting cooking, I didn't have the luxury of having every restaurant in my phone and to see what they were doing. It was books, it was newspapers, and that was it.
Right.
Or you travelled.
Yeah.
I couldn't see what Lemonade Park's new dish was, or any other amazing restaurant around the world. Right now, I can pull anything up.
Yeah, that can be overwhelming though as well, I guess.
Yeah, because you just oh my god,
Yeah, and I had a chat with someone recently about that as well, is that a lot of the young people coming in are watching all the YouTubers who are doing things but they've got a huge following, but they might not necessarily be
they're not
doing the best
no, it's not thing.
So you have to be discerning, don't you?
Yeah, you have to sort of, you don't know what's going on behind that background either, like how many people have taken them to maybe get to that point.
Yes.
There could be 20 people to get to that point of development and prepping and making it for a 10-second, 20-second video, because it ain't that easy.
I know.
I wish it was, but it's not, unfortunately.
Yeah. Would you recommend it?
Yeah, I would, yeah. No, I mean, it's tough, but I would certainly, it takes a certain type of person to, whether it be front or back or, owner and, pretty resilient and pretty, be able to turn on a dime pretty quickly and to react and change and and the way you speak to, sort of, way you handle one person, very handle the way you handle another person. Everyone's very different. You sort of change in that respect as well. But definitely. I mean, I've enjoyed it. Yeah. I'm tired. I've been tired for 30 years, but I've enjoyed it.
Well, I'll let you get back to your Friday night in the kitchen. Thank you so much.
No, it should be good. So.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Conversation with a Chef with Chris Rendell at the Beehive. You can check out some great photos and videos on Instagram at _beehive_hotel. If you'd like to hear more stories from other chefs, I'm also on Instagram at Conversation with a Chef. That's all one word. A very long word. You can read the chat and become a subscriber at www.conversationwithachef.com. And of course, you can follow me on Apple and Spotify. You could even leave a 5-star review. That'd be amazing. Thanks so much. I would love it if you told a friend about my chats, because that's still the best way to get the stories out there. Once again, thanks so much for listening. Have a great day and bon appetit.